Good morning. All right, so as you can see from the title of this video, we're going to talk about one of the items that we offer here at Oxygen, and this is kind of adjusting and changing a little bit as the need to work from home and manage teams from home. This has kind of adjusted a little bit. So I wanted to jump on and walk through this a little bit with you so that you could have an opportunity to message us and ask questions if you thought this was something that would work for your team. As you know, I very rarely talk about all the services. Usually we have you just reach out to a coach and talk about it so that it's more pertained to your team or you individually. But we've had kind of a lot of requests for this, so I thought maybe it would be easier as this kind of morphs into new things. So some people are getting back to work. Where we're from in Ohio, some companies are able to go back to work, general offices. Some of the companies that we work with at Oxygen, a portion of the office is still working remote. Some people are in the office. It's been a nice melding of just adjustment and what works best, and people are trying it out and just kind of working through the kinks. So we have always offered a service to come in and facilitate a sales meeting. And there's all kinds of options. We can do it once a month. We can do it once a quarter. We can come in and just do it once. There's lots of different options, and it just kind of depends on what other services you do for us or what you're looking for. What it has turned into and why I wanted to jump on and kind of talk about it is the environment that sales meetings are happening in right now are more often than not teleconferences. They're big Zoom calls or FaceTime calls, depending on the platform that your company uses. And so for one of our trainers to jump on and do a call is like us just joining your call, joining your Zoom call or whatever platform, your Microsoft Team meeting or whatever you're using. So with that being said, that is something we are doing a ton of as our schedule allows. And if your team meeting is scheduled when we have an opening, we have a trainer available, we will happily jump on and facilitate or help facilitate one of your sales meetings. So I thought we would take some time and just talk about a couple of the things that we've done up until now. Maybe jog your memory. This is not all that we will do. If you have something that you would like a trainer to kind of help with, then you can reach out to us and we're happy to talk that through and make sure that it's something that we have the right trainer assigned to or that schedules allow. And we will always tell you no if it's not something that we think that we can do effectively. But here are a couple that we have done. So if you've worked with us, then training on a new topic, whether that be sales, sometimes that's a multiple session topic. We can do that. We can do just a one-shot deal if there's something specific in your sales process that you've already narrowed down and you know, hey, we know it's cold calling. We know that it's the budget. We know that it's this one thing that's hanging up our team. Then we're happy to come in and help give you some tips and tricks for that. So we can do that. Negotiation is another thing that we do a fair amount of training here at Oxygen with. So that's another one. It can and probably should be a multiple meeting training. However, again, if we know that there's a trip up step and you already know what it is, then we can talk about that. Another one that we're doing a ton with actual training is work from home tips. We can even do this with your management team. If your managers are struggling now managing a team that is partially remote or partially in the office, or it's an adjustment, they're kind of moving in and out, we can talk about that and facilitate a brainstorming session or actual tips and tricks. We can do that for your management team as well. So training on a new concept, those are just a couple of ideas. If you have something other than that, we can talk about it. Help introducing new policies. I've done this for a couple of my existing clients. If you are in the process of changing your environment, which pretty much everyone is that has employees, if you have to roll out a difficult topic, we are happy to come in and help roll it out. We're to more facilitate a difficult conversation when we know we're in a landscape that is tough for people to absorb. If you've ever watched any of our videos, and you can go back and watch some of our Does Your Team Conflict Well videos, rolling out difficult topics is hard for people to absorb, and we're happy to help facilitate what that looks like, get people talking, asking questions, and keeping the dynamic at a dull roar, and making sure that it's taken on with a tonation that makes people happy to continue doing what you're about to roll out. That's a touchy subject for some people. And again, that can be to a level of management and then how they're going to roll it out from there, or it can be to client-facing employees. Just depends on how big your company is. And then anything that needs brainstorming. So this is another one too. And again, if you get on our YouTube channel, there is tons of training that I have put out there for you guys. Companies are expanding their offering. And if you're not, and that doesn't mean full-blown building up new product lines, but you should be expanding your offering based on what the current environment is requiring, how people are buying, what they need, how they're going to interact with you. We are happy to get on with your frontline people and help extract some of that information from them so that you can do your best if you're struggling to understand how you should be moving forward and what you should be doing. Understand that your customers will tell you what and how they need to interact with you. But if you don't feel like you're getting that type of information, then there's a gap. And the people that have that information are your frontline workers. So we want to extract that information, and our trainers are prepared to help facilitate that conversation and get that information out of them. You pay them to do a job. They are without sounding super cold, they are a line on your P&L. They are most likely the largest line on your P&L. Payroll is right up there with fuel if you have a fleet. And to just ask them to do a job where you make a list and you don't ask for any feedback is a poor return on investment, because they hear, they interact, they smile at the people that you do business with, and they have information that you should be extracting. So if you don't feel like that's a strength of your organization, then we're happy to jump on in a Zoom call and help extract that information and then review it with you afterwards, so that you can help make a strategy for yourself going forward. One of the things that comes along with facilitating meetings like this is offering your staff a post-meeting one-on-one support call. This is optional. You don't have to offer this to your staff. However, especially when we roll out training, sales, negotiation, anything like that, one of the things that Oxygen is set up to do is if you have 5 employees on the call, we roll it out. You can go on with your meeting, whatever that looks like. We will offer a series of one-on-one support calls so that they can ask questions. They can take some notes, things like that. And then you can either loop back with them, or they have the ability to try out the skills and techniques and then come back and ask more questions and things like that. Nobody learns to do a skill in a one-shot deal. Every single person has been to some kind of seminar or one day orientation or whatever, where we've all sat in, a half day or a full day, and we take tons of notes and things like that. The question is, do you go back to that notebook or, piece of file on your computer 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks after that? And are you implementing them, or did you never go back? And the likelihood that you went back is probably slim to none, unless somebody was asking you about it, pinging you about it, things like that. So the idea of the follow-up calls is that there is a reinforcement that goes along with it, so that you get, again, the best return on your time and money that you spend with these training calls. So there are some companies that have tripled, quadrupled down on training. And while I'll always be an advocate of learning, and I think that it changes perspective and does tons of things that you hear me say like a broken record, you do have to be cautious that if you info dump on people, the amount of information that they take away is very, very small. So if you feel like your organization is breaching into the unknown, whether it be you've changed a bunch of things and you're just kind of checking it out, you're not sure, or if you have found yourself in the lowest amount of sales that you've ever had since the last recession that we hit, or you're not sure, then reach out to us. You can find, we are extremely accessible: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, OxygenEq.com. The hashtag Breathe Life In, BREATHE, Life In, will pull up every single one of our platforms, and we should be able to, you can comment on any single one of these videos, and one of our coaches will jump right back at you and get you set up so that we can help facilitate your team and going forward. All of our coaches have been business owners in the past, or are currently a business owner. And the majority of us, I think if I run through the list accurately, went through owning a business through the last recession. Not that that's what we're in now, but some of the trends and issues that you're seeing are very similar. So we're here to help you, and working with a firm like Oxygen may be new to some of you. This is not contractual. This is not anything. This is just helping you get through this very unknown place in your business. I will tell you that when my business starts to get unknown, ironically, I'm watching this video, and this is my dad's military picture behind me. And as if you've watched any of my videos, you know that my dad is kind of my driving force behind my business, and many of the things that I learned to do best in business. He would tell me, slam my hand in the door, get pissed off, and handle it. Business is going to be different. And as much as we would all like to say, I got this, we'll figure it out, we're going with it, we're risk takers. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a visionary, you're a risk taker, you're okay with the unknown. But the other side of that is, the people to surround yourself with, and it's okay to reach out for help. So like I said, reach out, and we're reaching our hand back out so that we can help. We're happy to join a virtual meeting like this. And for those of you who have had us in your in-person meetings, you know that usually you leave a little jazzed up and ready to go. And we're seeing the same results on our virtual meetings. So I hope everybody's staying well and keeping a positive attitude. Get outside. I don't know where you are in this country geographically, but this also allows us to help teams that are more than just in Ohio, and we're here to help. So stay well, shop on the outside of the grocery store, take a walk, love on your dog, and take just a little bit of time to breathe life in. Bye, everybody.